Y'all, and welcome back to another Chaos Zero Nightmare video, one of many, I promise. The game just launched and I wrapped up a 12-hour plus stream. I'm so addicted, but I gotta take a quick nap, put out this video for y'all, and then go back at it again. So stop by the live streams if you want to hang. I'll show y'all my team comp actually real quick here as I discuss what this video is going to be about. But I was rocking a Haru, Mika, Cassius. That's going to be my main team moving forward. I did end up getting Renoa and Luke as well, but we're going to talk about all the 5-star characters that are in the pool that you guys might want to go for, how to narrow that down, as well as exactly how to re-roll, the tips and tricks, because those of you that do decide to re-roll are going to have a lot better time than I did, and I'll tell you why. Also, my answers might surprise y'all on who you should be going for, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and let's jump straight into it. All right, let's talk about just how to jump straight into re-rolling. So you're going to launch up the game, you're going to get into it, you're going to go through the story mission. You can watch the cutscenes the first time if you want. I highly advise you do, as the production value in this game is crazy. The story is pretty good, but you know, if you plan to re-roll multiple times, then go ahead and hold those triple arrows on the right hand side to fast forward. And another tip is you can actually press escape to skip through the longer cutscenes later on. You'll figure out when you can do it. Just hit escape a few times and you'll notice it here and there. But once you rescue Renoa, after you fight the boss, after certain events happen, you can actually go back to the ship, and I'll show you hopefully where that happens with some B-roll, some gameplay footage. But once you finish all that, then you go back and we can enter the rescue area. The tutorial will try to make you do some battle missions, but once you finish that area and you can actually summon and go to the rescue area, you're good to go. So go ahead and claim all the goodies from your mail. And as I said in the opening, you actually have a better time now, because the game, after the #1 App Store downloads, as well as this other server stability apology, will give you 50 summons, which is enough to max pity the beginner banner. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the beginner banner here, I think, anymore, but I think I do have some footage showing it, so hopefully that'll be on screen. And essentially, there's two choices right now, guys. You could either summon on the standard banner if you want to try your luck, because that's going to let you get a chance at double 5 stars on a reroll, or more if you're super lucky. But if you roll on the standard banner and you get a 5-star, then that means you can get the guaranteed one in up to 50 summons on the beginner banner. You know, the reduced newbie discount banner, whatever you want to call it. That's one option. Otherwise, if you don't plan to reroll too many times, you just want to jump into it, or at least get a decent start, then just rip all 50 summons into the beginner banner. And just a heads up, guys, you can only get one guaranteed 5-star on there. If you hear anything else, they're unfortunately mistaken, because I think it was different in the beta. But if you get it, let's say for example you get an early 5-star within 10, 20, 30 summons, you aren't guaranteed to get another one at the end on the 50 summon pity. Now I did have a lot of people in my stream get multiple, especially on the 50th summon, but they ended up just getting lucky because, of course, you know, every time you do a 10 pull, you have chances of getting 5 stars. So once again, recap, the two options are pull on the standard banner if you want to maximize the amount of 5 stars. This might take a lot longer, but if you get a 5-star on the standard banner within your first 50 pulls, then at least later on you can guarantee yourself a second 5-star on the new banner, right? The rookie discount banner. Otherwise, just rip 50 summons on the rookie banner, see who you get, and if you get someone you like, go ahead and keep it. If not, repeat the process. Now, the quickest way to restart that process is on the screen. You can see here, go to your account settings, click that little person icon on the bottom left, type in your own name as you see, and then that's it, guys. If you're on the Stove client, no need to make another email. Just reset the server data. Don't delete the account, and you're good to go. Now, one other option, guys, that I did see a few people try is re-rolling for Haru. And this is actually a character I really like and I'm going to be using. However, I don't have a guide for this, and I don't know if I recommend it, as a lot of the free summons that you get in the game are going to be these orange rescue anchors, whereas if you notice here on the Haru banner, you actually need the signal amplification anchors, the purple looking ones. So it's going to be a lot harder to roll for this, but I guess that's an option if you really want to make sure you guarantee get a Haru. Let's say you're free to play and really like her, you can go ahead. It might be a lot harder to get, but that is an option too. I'm just not going to cover it in this video. Instead, we're going to talk about the 10 characters, guys, and I'm going to break them each down for y'all so it can help you narrow it out. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, I have a answer here, and that is every character here, I think CZN has done a great job at balancing, so good job, devs. Props to them. Let's say, for example, in the beta, when I played, Calipe was so broken that this would have been my answer if they didn't, nerf her, to say, everybody, if you only care about power, just get Calipe. She does everything between tanking, damage, AoE. There was almost no reason not to get her. Now that they've, bounced her a bit, I heard she's still powerful. We'll talk about that in a second. I think the game is a lot more balanced in terms of who you can go for. So even though I hate this kind of answer where every character is viable, I really think that's the case here. And especially since this is a PvE-centric game, I think you can just kind of go for who you like, and I'll help you guys manage that. But in general, I think a few characters are a little bit stronger still. It's just not going to be that apparent with how CZN works. And second, if you just dedicate yourself to running enough chaos mode to get a good run, and you bring the right supports, I really do think all these characters are great. But some of them might be better out of the box, some might seem stronger on paper, and some of them do have specific playstyles that might not fit your style or might be a little bit more niche. So let's go and talk about that right now. Starting from left to right, guys, we have Luke. And for some reason, I've been hearing a lot of people say Luke is bad, but apparently from beta to now, his crit chance is a lot higher. And this is one of the best late game scaling characters. It's just in the beginning, until you can get him a lot of crit chance, even though his crit chance got buffed, I think he might not be the most powerful out of the box, like I was saying. But if you do plan to play this guy in the long run, I think he's going to be one of the best scaling monsters out there. So Luke fans, you're eating good. I personally do not like this guy. Unfortunately, I did get him on my account, and I probably won't play him until way later, if ever. Calipe, this is a character I played a lot on beta, and like I said, she was completely broken. She's apparently been brought in line with some nerfs between beta and now, but I think she's still completely powerful. I was going to say broken again, but let's keep that word out because, they did fix her. I do think she's still insanely good, just more in line with the other characters. So if you like a tank that does a lot of AoE and also just, I think, fits in a lot of different comps, Calipe is still a standout choice, maybe even still one of the best. Now, Magna is probably the one I would recommend the least, but that's only because her playstyle, unlike Calipe, they're very similar in terms of like defense scaling. I think she's a little bit more all in on the tankier side with counter mechanics, but if you like those kind of defense scaling counter style units like me, I think Magna would be a great choice. Just make sure that you like that kind of playstyle. If y'all want more flashy, high damage, offense, there might be better picks for you. Just like Rin. Now, Rin's weakness, is a character I did play a lot too, is that she's only single target. And I think some of the other single targets like Renoa might have a little bit more efficiency or utility. But that being said, if you like how Rin looks, because she's one of the best looking characters in the game, in my opinion, and you dedicate yourself to her, I think she has a lot of really good synergies, and she's a single target monster. Now, Orlia is very interesting. Unfortunately, I haven't played her myself, but I've talked with a lot of people that tried her out, and she's more of a support character that has a lot of cool card synergies when you don't play certain effects. But she's, I think, the only support character in this lineup. But don't be fooled, she can still do great damage. She's also going to be kind of like Magna, where you need to make sure that you like this kind of style, as a lot of the other characters are all just like direct damage dealers, or at least are a lot more straightforward. But if you want to play around this character, I think she can be very strong too. Now, Mei Lin, I heard, is actually one of the strongest in the game. I don't have a lot of experience with her, but from the people that I saw that pulled her, they really, really like her. Same thing with Veronica coming up. But I do think Mei Lin might be a little bit better out of the box. It's just these two characters I don't plan to play that much, so I don't have a lot of input on them. If you have any info on Veronica, especially in the comments, guys, let me know. But I know Mei Lin, a lot of the players have been liking. They're both fire strikers, or sorry, no, Veronica is not a striker, but I know that Mei Lin has been seeming to be kind of a little bit better overall. But like I said, all characters are viable. Now, Renault is one that I actually have right now, and I did play her a lot. The Dirge Bullet synergy, her massive amounts of bullet damage is a little bit tricky. I thought it was a lot simpler, but to really maximize her kit, you do need to have a little bit of card knowledge, but it's not super difficult. But once you get her rolling, her single target damage is crazy, and I think she has decent AP efficiency. So I think Renault is just a very strong character, and being like the lead female character, I think a lot of people will be drawn to her. Now, Hugo is one, just like Luke, that I heard a lot of people saying is bad, but I'm pretty sure this guy is insane too. So Hugo, I think, is one of the better damage dealers in the game, and I think he's a little bit more straightforward, at least from what I've seen so far. So don't be fooled. If anyone says Hugo is bad, they're completely wrong. Last but not least, guys, we have Kayron, and if you're an Epic 7 player, this is a no-brainer for a lot of people. But I do think Kayron requires, he's a lot more tricky than a lot of these other straightforward characters. So if you plan to play Kayron, I think you need to dedicate yourself to building a team completely around supporting him. Just make sure, right, you understand his kit. I do think he's one of the more complex characters. None of the characters I think are too difficult, but if you're like, let's say, new to card games, new to roguelikes, new to team building and things like that, you might have a little bit of difficulty if you just throw a random team together. So you really need to min-max with Kayron to get the most out of him. But I do think every character, like I said earlier, is viable. So that would be my suggestion, guys, is if you just want like straightforward characters, units like Kalipe are still amazing and kind of good. The fact that they have AoE too, be careful if you play characters like Rin and Renoa, as they're going to be primarily single target, and there are bosses in the game that do punish lack of AoE, so you'll need to supplement that with some other characters. But overall, just pick, at least this will help you get an idea of the different archetypes. And I really advise y'all to pick which character you like the most, as I think CZN is balanced enough to where if you like the character, they're going to feel great. I promise. I know how that sounds. I hate the cop-out answer of every character is fine, just pick your favorite. It really is the case right now for CZN, in my opinion, okay? All right, guys. We'll wrap it up there. I'm going to get some rest and get back to playing more Chaos Zero Nightmare. So tune into the Twitch or YouTube, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace out, everybody.